Hey Dunamix families, this is a storyboard. This is how we prep our choreographers, set designers, costumers. We kind of go through the vision of the show, and I thought I would share it with you guys to get you excited for Saturday. So, opening scene of Cinderella will be her dancing by the fireplace. Stepsisters come in and are mean to her, and so is stepmother. And then Lucifer the cat is following them around, doing funny little antics. Cinderella remains sweet and keeps being like she's always wanting to get the attention and affection of her stepmother and stepsisters. She's always sweet, trying to earn their love. When she goes out to the barnyard to feed the animals, we have some dancing birds, mice, and hip-hopping pigs. And then the chickens will be the tappers. So this scene will end with Lucifer chasing everybody out of the way. In the next scene, Cinderella comes back into the house where the stepsisters are doing their dance lesson. The dance master is horrified because it's so bad. And so is Lucifer, but of course their stepmother thinks that they're fabulous. At the end of this scene, the royal invitation to the ball comes. So the guy shows up with a proclamation, and Cinderella says, "Well, can I come to the ball?" And the stepsisters laugh, and they hand her a mop and a broom, and they tell her, "Get back to work. You're never going to go to the ball." In the next scene, they're shopping for dresses. So different dressmakers keep arriving to the house, and the stepsisters are very excited about everything that is available. And they keep stacking up more and more dresses on Cinderella to take to their closets and put away. And more ladies keep showing up until the house is just filled with dressmakers. At the end of this, the stepmother and stepsisters will leave for the ball. And Cinderella is very sad because she got left behind. So she goes out crying into the garden. And if you can zoom into this one, when Cinderella is crying, this little old woman comes out at night, and she has her little crippled hand, and she's a beggar. And Cinderella, even though she's sad, you can see how sweet she is because she's shines her shoe and gives her something to drink, and she's really sweet to her. And because she's sweet, the little old woman reveals she's actually a beautiful ballerina, and she's the fairy godmother. So in the background of this scene will be little babies dressed like pumpkins and some jazz dancers with the leaves, like they're the leaves of the pumpkin. And Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo will come on, and the pumpkins come to life, and they'll dance. And then the biggest pumpkin will go cartwheeling off, and then we'll have an explosion of confetti cannon right here, and a beautiful carriage will come out of the wings. So it's like the pumpkin got turned into the carriage. And then the leaves will dance, and then some little mice will scurry across the stage, and they will become the tapping horses. And I actually have the inspo for that, which is going to be a headpiece that's going to be pretty fun to wear. So then the ball is happening at this time. I keep forgetting this. I always forget to turn Cinderella's dress into a nice ball gown, which actually the fairy godmother forgets too. So I can see how she does that. The different seasons come in as fairies that will help the fairy godmother do this dress transformation that Chris is planning, where they'll pull some kind of strings and her rags will magically turn into a gorgeous ball gown before your eyes. So that'll be fun. And then she gets into the carriage and off she goes to the ball. When we arrive at the ball, there's hip-hopping gentlemen, which will not all be gentlemen, but we don't have enough boys to pull these things off, obviously. So there's going to be like a party scene where the ballerinas will be doing the girl parts and the hip hoppers will be doing the boy parts. And meanwhile, the stepsisters are trying to get the attention of the prince, where they're like hanging on him and being ridiculous, and it should be super funny. And then Cinderella arrives in her ball gown and obviously wows everyone with her gorgeousness. From here, we go into a paw scene with Cinderella and the prince. And then while they're sitting on a little bench, there's a clock number tap dance where the countdown to midnight happens. And at the stroke of 12, Cinderella realizes that she's going to be late, so she goes sprinting away, leaving behind her very sparkly little point shoe. And the prince picks it up. At this point in time, the prince is just devastated. And so he's trying to get all of his men to help him. So he gathers all of the men from the party to come chase down Cinderella. And there will be a hobby horse dance choreographed by Faith Gansky. She's very excited. It should be pretty funny. When Cinderella arrives at the garden, she's really sad. She's not sad. She's excited. She just was at the ball. And with the stars in her eyes, she does this little dance with hip hoppers who will be dressed as roses. And I don't have a picture of that, sorry. But they'll be like hip hoppers with the big rose hats on their heads. And it should be fun and beautiful. And then In front of curtain, we'll have a line to try on the shoes, and it should be really funny, girls trying on the shoe to see if it will fit them. Of course, they come to this house of the stepmother and stepsisters where they all try on the shoe, and of course it doesn't fit them, and even stepmother is going to try to get it on. And then the stepsisters will be hiding the door where Cinderella is locked up, and she is trying to let them know that she's there. When they discover that Cinderella is there, obviously they have her come out and try on the shoe, and of course it fits her. And what's really beautiful about that is that we discover the prince, even though he sees Cinderella in her rags, not in her glorified self, he knows that who she is enough. Who she really is enough. And so she gets the crown. At the very end, it will be a wedding scene where she will be crowned, and there will be a long, beautiful veil and some flower girls and white rose petals falling from the sky, and it should be a very gorgeous finale. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see you guys at auditions.